It's tech time, people. We're here at Lenzerheide for the first round of the UCI Mountain Bike Downhill World Cup, and I've got some absolute bangers for you. I've been delving into the pits left, right and centre, so sit back, take it easy, because things are going to get wild. Okay, this has got to be some of the hottest tech in the pits right now here at the Downhill World Cup. We're at the specialised team pits where the mechanics are working on Loic Bruni's bike. And you can see there's two bikes in the stands, both quite different. One fully set up with telemetry, one without. But what's interesting about them is actually what's going on in the middle of the bike. So first up, something is very covered up. The rear shock you cannot see. We can't really find out what's going on though, so there's a bit of a mystery surrounding there. It's very different to a normal specialised demo. If you look at that rear chainstay as well, vastly different, much wider, tapers down towards the rear axle there. There's still obviously a rear mech, so there's no mech in a box wizardry or anything like that going on. So it's definitely something rear shock related. And if you have a look at the telemetry system set up on the front of the bike, I mean, you can tell that the Öhlins, they're working very closely with the Öhlins guy there to sort of really dial in the suspension. I just really want to know what's going on in that mid-range of the bike. Only speculation is out there at the moment, so maybe we can hopefully grab Loic or some of the Öhlins guys at some point to find out a little bit more. Loic, I've managed to grab you now. We're obviously checking out your bikes here. We're wondering what's going on in the middle part of it. Can you tell us much?
No, I can't tell you much, but it's like the new system from Specialized that they've been working on, plus what Öhlins also has cooking for us. So we tried not to show it too much because it might inspire some other people to do the same. So we keep it for us, and so far so good. I really like it.
Okay, obviously I can see a lot of telemetry going on the front of the bike. Is that to really dial in what's going on the mid part of the bike? Because there's some fancy covers and stuff going on it.
Yeah, like telemetry is more for validations of our settings. So later on I'll do a full run, trying to push a little bit more than what I would usually do, to kind of see if we validate the settings or if we're in the wrong direction, and then adjust for tomorrow. But we have front and back, which you can just not see the back.
I'm intrigued what's going on, and just quickly, what's course conditions like up there?
Right now it's really changing. We have a lot of rain on and off, little showers there and there, so it's really hard to find your marks. You cannot really push much because, like I said, the floor is really tricky, like full of roots and dirty rocks, like just catching your wheels. So right now I'm a bit puzzling, trying to be smooth, but it's coming slowly. But you know, the first race is always tricky. Everybody just sends it. So far so good. Just had one crash, so it's not too bad.
All right, man. One quick question I got to ask: the remote on the levers, on the bar, for the suspension, is that to change the suspension on the fly, right?
I have to go.
Thank you, mate. Have a look at this, people. Now, this has got to be one of my favourite bikes here at the World Cup, purely for nostalgia. Now, for those of you watching who are slightly older, should we say, you might remember back in the glory days of downhill, should we say, Giant had the most badass paint job. It was essentially this on their old ATX downhill bike, and they've brought it back for this, the brand new glory. The whole team are riding this. This is going to actually be available to the public as well. Full frame set with a black Fox 40 on the front, and you can get a full build as well. I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for the guys on track riding this bad boy. Okay, all stand to attention, because I am here with Patrice, team manager and owner of the Scott Factory Downhill team.
Yeah.
Mate, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Right, I want to pick your brains. We've got Marine Cabarou's bike here, and I want to know, telemetry seems to be a thing that I've noticed quite a lot in the pits. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the setup is and how she'll use it?
Yeah, well, the setup is pretty basic, honestly. We have the BYB telemetry system. We mainly have sensors on the fork and the shock. Also embedded accelerometer and things that, and GPS. We can see a GPS antenna that allow us to see things, what happens on the bikes across the course.
And is this just on Marine's bike, or do the other riders use it as well?
No, we have a system for each rider, and can use it on their liking, depending on what they want to do. On Marine's bike, we wanted to check a few things, whether the fittings fits the measurements, and see to improve, try to improve things. Today, here, the others don't really want, they are happy with their bike, There are no real question on the settings, so we don't use it.
Yeah. Awesome. Patrice, thank you very much. Wow.
You're welcome.
Lots of information.
You're welcome.
Now, did you see the Lords video where Neil checked out Matt Walker's Saracen Mist? You may well have done. If you haven't, go check it out. But here is Matt Walker's updated V2 of that bike that he was on. So basically, this bike, very similar in terms of what the front triangle is and the rear triangle. However, the linkage has been updated. So a new CNC linkage, lighter, freshly CNC'd. This is his practice bike. He's actually out on his race bike at the moment. Cool bit of kit. You can see how it's working down there. Real nice and intricate. And another interesting spot on this is actually some brand new DT Swiss wheels, which are now out in the wild as of this video. So if you're watching, go check them out. DT Swiss FR 1500 rims, and we've got, what is it there? They're 240 hubs. Very interesting. 27.5 on the back, 29 up front, mullet setup. Anyway, Saracen Mist V2, very cool. Other actually nice, interesting bits I've noticed on this: integrated fork bumpers. We've got the soft side of Velcro all around the seat and chainstay just to try and keep that noise down and that chain slap. How long till we see this in production? I don't know, but I don't reckon it's far away. Bernard, how's it going, man? Down at the Pivot Pits. Talk of the town. What have we got going on here, mate? Come on.
We've got a very early stages prototype Pivot downhill bike here. We're just working on a lot of stuff with Pivot, trying new things, working on pretty much everything. So yeah, I've been working really hard in the off season with Chris, Kevin, the whole R&D department over in Phoenix, and this sucker's literally hand built out of their facility in Phoenix, which is pretty cool, straight out of the USA. So
yeah, okay. All right, it's obviously vastly different to the current Phoenix we've got going on. We've got obviously multiple chains, we've got high pivots going on, we've got mixed wheel size by the looks of it. Is there, you know,
it's a mullet.
Yeah, okay, we can confirm it's a mullet. Now we've got carbon tubes into aluminium lugs, am I right?
Yeah, it's like machine CNC. Takes a lot of hours, a lot of hard work's gone into this. I've done a lot of laps on this in the off season, so yeah.
And are you going to be racing on this one?
Yeah, I'll be racing on this. Jenna and some of the others will be on the current bike because, as proven last year, it's an amazing bike. I got 5th last year in the overall on it, so that's still a great bike. This is just super early, like trying out the mullet because I've never ridden a mullet before, and yeah, just trying to work on like the future of Pivot and build in the next couple of years.
And when do you think we might see this?
Couldn't say.
Could be a while?
It could be a while, yeah. It's not coming anytime soon, that's for sure.
All right, mate. Thanks for the info. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Right, everyone. I'm here with Romeo in the Gamux pits. Team mechanic, right?
Yes. Welcome.
And I got to say, this is one of the wildest and coolest looking bikes here at round one. Dude, I'm spotting belt drives, pinion gearboxes. Run us through what we got here.
We have our Gamux Seago. It's a prototype bike. We all develop and manufacture it by ourselves. It's Pascal Tinner who's engineering of the bike. We do the design, and it's like the 3rd year we're on CNC frames right now, and this is one of the evolutions.
Right, so I mean, let's start sort of front to back. I mean, first up, Dorados, amazing fork, love them. What? Whose bike is this one exactly?
This is the bike of Lino Lehmann. He's our elite rider, and he had his first practice today. He's on our team the 2nd year, and he's pretty stoked riding and also helping to develop a new bike.
Perfect. And what travels this bike got, and is it full 29 by the looks of it?
This year we're going full 29. Last year, if you might remember, we were on mullet, like 27 in the back, 29 in the front. We have 203 millimeters in the front and around like 200-ish in the back. I guess it's like 197 or 196.
Yes, it's not too bad.
Depends a bit on the setup.
Okay, and then is there any adjustability on the frame? Sort of head angles, wheelbase, shock position, things like that. I'm sort of seeing, we've got various drilled out bits, but are there any adjustments on the frame?
We have quite a lot of adjustments. Like we can play with a frame length, like with reach adjusters. We have a standard reach of 485. Then we have different shock mounts, so we can play a little bit around there. Kinematic wise, we could do links as well. Oh, wow. And for the whole gearing, we have like different pulleys, like sprockets at the end. The pulley here, we have different sizes to change a bit like the the driving and everything.
I mean, I'm loving this. I'm geeking out big time. Which pinion box are you using on this? Is it a C9?
It's a C1.6. Yeah, like
Okay.
6 gears are enough. Like every gear or like every gears you add is like more weight you add.
Yeah, of course.
And we said let's go with 6 because that's what we need.
Yeah, I mean 6 is all you need for down it, and obviously the jump between those gears gets bigger as well, obviously.
Exactly.
Okay, and I mean, so I noticed we've got some Schwalbe first ride tyres on here. What tyres are we running on here? Taki Chan, is that?
That's a new Taki Chan. We just got it last week from Schwalbe, freshly delivered. It's I think it's a development from Commencal Dorval.
Yeah.
Like Yannick Brown was developing this tire together with Benoit Coulange and Baptiste Pierron.
Yeah, and that looks like a new tread pattern to me, and I'm guessing it's probably going to be a new compound as well.
Compound-wise, I don't know. Thread pattern, yes. It should be something between Magic Mary and Dirty Dan.
Yeah.
Like an all-round tire,
Yeah.
which is a bit better when it's a bit moist or muddy, but not super mud tire.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will see.
Awesome, Romeo. Thank you very much for the insight. Loving this thing. Great stuff. Thanks. Check this out. When it comes to hottest tech, this has got to be right up there. The bike rocking the #1 plate, Amory Pirons. It is looking fresh for a fresh season. Full bike check coming, so have a look on the channel for that coming soon. More hottest tech now from the Commencal pits. These brand new Bell Full 10 helmets with all their custom paint jobs. Check out this one. Amory Pirons here. Thibaut Darprellas. Look at that. Here we go. Look at the paint job on that. Look at those sparkles and colours. Those things are looking fresh and badass. It's nice, man. You like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah?
It's really nice and flashy, and you don't see that often, so really stoked about this one.
Cool. Did you choose the design?
Not really, to be fair, but when the manager showed me that, I say, okay, let's go for it.
It's definitely not bad. Thank you, mate. Okay, Lenzerheide, hottest tech. Check this out. Mondraker prototype. So this is some version of a Summum. And I've got Jake here, who's worked on the kinematics of this bike. Now, Jake, obviously we've got some hidden gubbindry going on in the middle of it. Can you divulge a little more for us at all? Come on, something.
There's a shock in there. That's pretty much all I can say at this point. There's some cool stuff going on we can talk about. We've got 3 removable stiffness bridges, so we can tune the stiffness of the rear end of the frame. The BB totally bolts out and is removable, and then we can change height, positions, like whatever we want. So, that's...
Oh, wow. So that's
Yeah.
actually the bottom bracket shell that...
Yeah.
I mean, that is the bottom bracket shell that bolts into the frame there.
Yeah, so kind of taking a bit of kind of inspiration from e-bikes, we were thinking how can we create something that's ultimately tunable for every rider. So this prototype bike has 21mm of headset reach movement. BB's like almost infinitely adjustable depending on where we want to put it. The stiffness braces in the rear triangle, and then we've got chainstay adjustment too. So we're just trying to keep it like super adjustable so we can cater for like Ellie, who's very, very light, and Brooke, who's an absolute wrecker, and he won't mind me saying that.
Considerably heavier. And at what sort of stage of the process is this bike, would you say? I mean, is this near production? Is it plenty more testing?
This is super, super early, so I definitely wouldn't expect to see anything new from us till 25 at least. Yeah.
Really? 25? Okay. Now, are we running mixed or same wheel size? And can you tell me how much travel's out back as well?
It's a downhill bike amount of travel. And yeah, it's mixed wheel. It's designed around mixed wheel. There's no option for 29 rear.
All right, Mondraker 2025. We'll keep our eyes peeled. Thanks, mate.
Nice one.
Cheers. That's a wrap from here in Lenzerheide then. The hottest tech, well, it truly was absolutely red hot. Do you want to see anything else more in depth? Truck tours, bike checks, do let me know in the comments down below. But for me, for now, I'm out of here. Thanks a lot, everyone, and I'll catch you later.